Well, adding to that, I don't recall the representative saying anything about having public hearings like they did on the Sable Farm pipeline. And I think that's one thing we need to do, get, whenever they get the project underway, or before they get it underway, to have those public hearings.
If you don't mind, Mr. Chairman, if I could ask, Tommy, what is our, as a commission, do we have any authority or regulatory authority over that?
No, I don't believe so. With transmission lines and pipelines and all of that, those are taken out from under the county's land use regulations. There's a siting, the governing cabinet sit as, and there's a name for it, but it's like the transmission line siting board or something like that. And they approve all these things, and then that takes precedence over our local comp plan and local land development regulations. So no, we really, unless we're a property owner that they need an easement from, then we would be in the same position as any other property owner.
Right.
But we don't have any regulatory jurisdiction that I know of those. And just remember, what's happening, what landowners are getting is they're getting solicitation.
Right.
The lawyers are saying, if this happens, please hire me to represent you. That, because you get a letter from a lawyer, doesn't mean you have to use them or they have to say so.
But what that message that's sending them is, then that letter is stating that they're going to be condemning your land and taking your land, and then that's upsetting people.
Yeah.
And I know that's a solicitation letter, but then they reach out to me saying, hey, what's going on with this? You know, and I'm trying to do my best to be able to give them accurate information and something that we can provide our citizens about, you know, what their, you know, situation may be or may not be.
Those corridors, I think, are supposed to be approved, though, like I said, by trustees of government. There ought to be a state government agency that can give us that corridor and say, yeah, this is what we approved. So we at least have that, even if we're not getting responses from the utility.
I would just like to see our citizens have a venue or a location or a place they can go where they can, you know, get that information if they want it, other than get the solicitation letter from the attorney.
Well, and kind of in line with that, what is it? Private landowners that lease their property to companies like FPL for solar fields, or is that something? If they were running out 10 car, I'll just use Dale Leslie as an example. Could we get into the solar industry? Kind of like what's it, I-1075 along Dale Leslie, for instance. I mean, is that something the counties can do with the utilities?
I have to think about that. Generally, you know, those kind of fields like that are private enterprises. That's somebody
Well,
else
I know.
that's
Most
done
of them
that.
have
So
that.
you know, you gotta think policy-wise before, have to think about, do you want to engage in a private enterprise like that competing with other private enterprises? But I think that the answer to the basis of the question is, does that open up opportunities for landowners to get into that business that they might otherwise not have? Well, yeah, probably.
Well, I mean, I think that'll be information, because I don't think, unless the companies like FPL or you said what would you say the company was, it Gulf?
I think it's NextEra.
NextEra. I don't know whether they were approaching any landowners about, you know, would you be interested in providing a solar field? I think that's an industry that obviously growing it.
At this time, I asked him two questions. I said, one, would Tri-County or Duke have access to that line? And he said, no. Right now, they would not have access to the line. There's no plans to give them access. Now, it doesn't mean it couldn't change. And I said, then the other was, are you looking at putting a solar field like you did over at I-10? I said, and they said, no. Not that we couldn't, but that's not the purpose of this line, is just coming through.
No, I've received letters from these solar companies. They want large tracts of land, something like 150 acres, no wetlands and stuff like that. But the landowner has to provide the transmission line from the land to their
Well, and
connecting point.
my understanding too is it has to be within so many miles or half miles of either a substation or a high power transmission line.
Well, in our MCDC meeting yesterday, there was some discussion about that. I know Hamilton County just came over a deal on a solar field, but they're looking for 500-acre tracts or larger that's
Yeah.
flat and that's, you know, no wetlands and all that, and is adjacent to transmission, not near.
Yeah, adjacent to a transmission line and or so, I know, and the one at 75 and 10, you've got substation over there right by it, and you've also got that high power transmission line going right through it.
I was talking about from Madison
Yeah, I know,
County.
I know.
But y'all recall seeing Badcock Ranch, that?
Yeah, well, that's, yeah, we went there on that trip down when we were down last FACOM, that was very interesting, extremely interesting.
Anyway, Mr. Chair, that's the only concern that I had is start to get some contact with some constituents with some questions and concerns about that. They wasn't aware of what was going on. I would like to see if they would furnish.
Yeah, I'll email them and ask them for a map.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be nice.
Or what would be better is a link to their website showing what they're proposing to do.
Yeah. And I think that might alleviate some concerns. I don't know if all of it was some. That's all.
Commissioner Moore.
Yield my time, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Walter. All right. I will be out of town, starting this afternoon. I'm going to it's the last ACC for the year, but I've got one I've got to make up because I missed an ACC meeting when my wife was in the hospital, so won't be graduating to ACC this year, but next year. That's all I have. Anyone else in the audience? Mr. Thigpen, you escaped coming before us today.
I don't have anything unless you have anything for me.
Mr. Steves? EOC got anything? No, sir. All right, EMS is doing fine. Ms. Williams?
Just a reminder about Down Home Days, and we haven't gotten very many nominations for Citizen of the Year. So go to our website or come in our office and we'll help you with that.
Mr. Kaufman?
We've got, the building's gonna be closed this afternoon, for active shooter training with the constitutional officers in our office. Also coming up, we've got the, Swanee River Water Management District sent out, reminders of the, Hares Dinner, where we recognize farmers in the area, for their best management practices. That's coming up on May the 2nd, at 6 o'clock. Also, we got the 20th of May festivals, coming up, on both weekends around the 20th. And I was asked last night if y'all would be interested in attending, that festival. I think they'll be here at the next meeting to invite you personally to that festival and to be in the parade. And if y'all wanna do something together in the parade, for Down Home Days, let me know and I can get Tommy to bring the Kawasaki Mule in, if y'all wanna do that. I think you already talked about our meeting tonight with Val Austin.
Yeah, Scott had mentioned that.
You'll be attending that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we will be attending that tonight at 6 o'clock. That's really all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Pickles, I'm gonna leave you out. Motion. That's what I wanna hear from her.
Yeah.